Good morning, all. Welcome to Anand Rathi Morning Commodity and Currency Podcast. Let's begin with precious metal update. Gold has been supported by increased buying in China and from central bank worldwide, along with tensions in the Middle East and Ukraine, and concerns about the US stock market and presidential elections. However, rising 10-year treasury yields due to persistent inflation worries could restrain gold's upward movement with attention shifting to the US Federal Reserve's quarterly forecast in its meeting on 20th March. Meanwhile, silver remains stable, boosted by support from the base metal complex, as deficit concerns for the metal in 2024 keep downside risk limited. Technically, gold pivot is around 65,624. If gold surpasses 65,820, it has potential to reach to the levels of 66,000. And conversely, if it falls below 65,370, we might see downside to the levels of 65,185. Going ahead with base metal update, copper expected to trade in range. News of China's production cut is still fermenting. US retail sales in February were weak on a monthly basis, but the trade dollar index showed positivity. The People's Bank of China kept the rate on its 1 year policy loan steady at 2.5%, as expected by most economists surveyed by Bloomberg. Data due later today. The major focus will be on China's retail sales and industrial output data due on Monday. Technically, copper pivot is around 752. If copper breaks above 755, it has potential to reach to the levels of 758. And if it drops below 749, we may see downside to the levels of 746. Going ahead with energy update, oil futures have now broken out of a narrow range they had been trading so far this year, closing above its psychological $80 per barrel level. Upside may continue given the tight fuel market, but there are still headwinds that may limit further gains. This includes rising non-OPEC supply, China's demand concern, and persistent US inflation that's pushing back expectation for interest rate cuts. Technically, crude oil pivot is around 6,661. If crude oil rises above 6,778, we might see upside to the levels of 6,847. And if it drops below 6,618, we may see downside to the levels of 6,549. On currency front, rupee is now back under slight pressure and may go above 83 as the global dollar is back to its upward trend. As long as the US economy remains resilient, there could be this uncertainty around the dollar evaluation as rate cut probabilities swing up and down during data events. USD INR range is now even stickier. Major events scheduled today are US Empire State Manufacturing Index, US Industrial Production, US Consumer Sentiments, US Inflation Expectations. That's all for today's podcast. Have a successful trading day. Thank you.